Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. So let's start the presentations. Pınar will be presenting in yours.
I'm going to be presenting.
Okay. Is this your?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So we are starting from group A?
No, we'll be starting with Elif Hanım.
Shall we start then?
Can I just remind you, for the presentations, you've got 15 minutes. When you've got 5 minutes left, we'll ring the bell once, 5-minute warning. Second time, please stop and we'll just go through.
I'll try to keep it as short and effective as possible, inshallah. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the organization indeed, because this is the very first time I'm attending Foci, and I've been also attending and presenting in T+ yesterday. So this is a very good opportunity to talk about the roles of professional development and the curriculum designing and putting it all together. I believe it was one of the greatest ideas ever. I've been in ELT for a very long time, and I'm very happy to be talking about our joint and common efforts. We've been discussing the issues that you've been discussing in the groups today, and I'll try to keep it in the shortest manner possible. I heard probably the different groups have been looking at the details of all the questions. Well, although we have discussed all of the questions, believe me, in details, we decided to incorporate our common decisions to the 3 of the questions. Question number 2, 3, and 4. Why did we do that? Because we wanted to focus on the professional development role of curriculum team in the first place. That's, we believed very much, the trainer hats embedded in the curriculum, and we all believe that when we look at the curriculum, it's not the mapping out of objectives and teaching objectives and learning outcomes, but there is more to that. In even the simplest lesson planning, we are looking at the anticipated problems and suggested solutions and plan Bs and pacing and the audience we're targeting, etc. So we wanted to focus first on the professional development roles of the curriculum designer in the first place. In the second part, we are looking at the role of the professional development team unit, the teacher trainers, so-called, in the curriculum development. And finally, we're looking at the collaboration of both for the empowerment of the programs and everybody. So in the first place, we say it's not only the trainer's responsibility, it's about lifelong learning, and it's about taking responsibility for our own professional development, we said. The curriculum designer is also involved in the professional development, and we've been even discussing the role of the P in professional development. Could it be standing for personal development? Because we've been talking about reading the article from Kennedy and teacher autonomy. So are we really talking about our own professional and personal development, we said. As well as all these development activities, we're also talking about the professional development in terms of the development of the curriculum cycle. In the planning, in the implementation, in the evaluation, we really need to consider the training aspect or the developmental aspect, because we really want to promote autonomy. Autonomy, do we really have space in our curriculum for autonomy? If you look at the curriculum design, our mapping out of objectives, it's solely the matching of certain, let's say, topics from course books or materials with, a particular time to be covered in class. So that's kind of more prescriptive job. We are prescribing what the teachers need to be doing in class, but where is the autonomy? Do we really put on our developmental hat there? If we design it this way, am I helping the teacher to accomplish things in an improved way or not? Are we really running with pacing, or are we really stopping and looking at things from different perspectives. So that was important for us. I'm not going to talk about every single detail mentioned here, but this implementation and evaluation, and I would like to give the message of the cycle there. We should not really look at our maps, the curriculum maps, in a linear manner. We thought we really need to be looking at it in a circular manner, not linear but circular, and in that sense it means getting feedback, incorporating feedback, being able to look at things from different perspectives, and then keep going on and improving the maps there. The curriculum designer needs to be acting as a teacher trainer as well. We've been discussing about the issues like, I don't know if it happens to you, I do represent the curriculum side in my institution, and when there is a substitution problem, the teacher is now running towards the training team. The teacher is running towards the coordinator or the team leader type of person to ask for advice. Unless we are putting on our professional development hat, we won't be able to help those people. That means empathy. How is this person going to teach this writing lesson in this particular 40 hours without any preparation beforehand? So do I really have developed plans which would really facilitate the teacher's life? Okay. Do we have a ready-made plans to help people, and how are we looking at the issues? So the role of professional development team in curricular development, this time, this is question number 3. This time we're assuming that we all have different units as the professional development trainers and the curriculum designers. Now let's look at their roles. How can the trainers, so-called, contribute to the development of the curriculum? How much are they going to be incorporated in the design? Of course, the applicability of content in the classroom setting. Again, I would like to revisit the idea of the teacher trainer in their focus of kind of providing more education about the teacher behavior in class. However, we're talking about maybe the trainer can also have a look at what's happening in class, and rather than looking at the teacher practice, maybe they could be looking at the content and match the suggestions, solicited advice, in other words. In order to make the advice solicited, maybe they can look at the applicability of the content in the classroom setting. In this item, we mean that the trainer, the so-called trainer, is putting on the curriculum designer hat. And team teaching is something we've been talking about, and it might be taking place in different institutions in different manners. We thought maybe in our wonderful Foci-Xv University, we may try some new things, and we may, team up a curriculum designer with a professional development member, and we can put the two together in class, so they can be, teaching 5 and 5 hours to do certain main course skills, and then come back and look at the prescribed program and their teacher trainer activities and how well they can be matching, and tailor-fit practices could be suggested to others. And this, we also had the discussion, it's not only the trainer and the curriculum designer, this team teaching could be done. Trainer and teacher, curriculum designer and teacher, it's good to put ourselves into others' shoes to be able to understand what's happening. And we've been even talking about, the trainer and the curriculum designer and maybe assessment advisor, and all of these could be merged together. Might be a bit radical to suggest, maybe no one else is doing, maybe one or two colleagues are experiencing it in their institutions, but why not looking at the issues from that perspective? Okay, so team teaching, is a new concept, rather new, let's say. There are different steps that could be incorporated, we thought. While helping the curriculum team members to develop their training skills might be another nice and new thing in Foci-Xv University. Why not the wonderful teacher trainers meet up with the curriculum designers and suggest, how better to suggest certain things to teachers. if both parties have more experience of the lesson planning and the maps the maps, then they can be talking about similar things, and whoever has more experience could be sharing it. It's like peers learning better from each other. Students, they don't like to listen to their teachers, but they prefer to listen to their friends. So maybe, the trainers have been collecting a lot of experience in training others and, finding suggestions to match better the issues and weak points. Why not let them share experience and improve the skills of the other unit as well? And throughout the academic year was a keyword for us for the coming thing. And the coming thing is about sharing good and weak areas in the curriculum with the designers in order to further work on it. And the needs analysis, any curriculum designer would nod the head that you would start with a needs analysis, but needs analysis should be ongoing as well. We need to be looking at our maps to understand what other needs we have. Okay, how many minutes?
5 minutes.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to be running a little bit now. The role of the PT. Okay, this is less innovative, but more classical this time. It's keeping up with what's happening in ELT. We love to discuss theories and come up with new ideas and alternative ways of looking at issues. So why not letting professional development teams feed us more with what's happening outside, but of course remembering to match with the contextual, specific things happening in our university if they fit. And the workshops, again, something classical. Why not letting them, give us workshops? It doesn't have to be big conferences. It doesn't have to be a concurrent session, but it could be a mini thing, happening during the breaks if there is something problematic that they are observing. If the curriculum designer is observing something as problematic, if the students are knocking doors, well, you are letting us learn about these, writing essays or whatever, but we have problems. Why not looking back again? It's like the back outlining. Feedback may be coming from different parts, and compulsory sessions to manage change at the beginning of a year may happen, or, performance review meetings could let other people, the other teachers and, the other members of the program question what their goals are. Where do they want to see themselves in the coming year, in the coming term, in terms of their particular teaching area. So the curriculum designer will also be looking at what they are doing in what manner, thanks to the, suggestions and ongoing feedback and training. And this is the last part. How important is it? This is the last part, and I'm going to give a few messages in the quickest manner. It is very important, we believe. Otherwise, we wouldn't be discussing, we wouldn't be holding all these sessions and symposium and forum discussions, and we do not want to neglect the different parts of the continuum, because we said we believe all the different aspects of teaching profession are embedded behind curriculum. If we are calling people as curriculum designers or professional development members or the program directors or blah blah blah, we all start with being a teacher. So it means collaborating all the efforts together to have a smoothly running program. Reality, not a dreamland, we said, and some other things, the perspectives, the isolated outcomes, they are all related to what idea? This is my curriculum. I designed it, I mapped it out. This is my training activities. I know it, I'm going to share it with you. Okay. If we go in our isolated islands, we won't be able to collaborate. But instead, we want to talk about the program as a common, on a common ground. Everybody's feedback is there. Everybody understands and feels they are belonging and contributing. And then we will be collaborating. So isolated outcome, if I think about my training, whose training is that? Is it your training? Is it our training? In other words, it's not mine, your, but ours. And of course, we also said obstacles, well, we may see them as obstacles or agents of change, need for change. If they are not there, maybe we won't be questioning ourselves and trying to do in a better way. There may be some resistance, not only from the professional development members, but also from some other parts of the program. Therefore, this is all about managing change. And who decides we need a change? If we do not collect enough data from the students, teachers, and other parties of the department, we do not know if we really need to change. And then it's a top-down, or in other words, vertical kind of management. And the world is going towards a more horizontal, flat organization and empowering people, empowering teachers and students. So we are talking about maybe questioning and organizing our job descriptions again. Because if somebody's job description is telling them to look at the curriculum from the curricular perspective, then they won't be able to collaborate maybe. And I think I've been able to cover all points in a way. Maybe it was a bit quick, but it was in 15 minutes. It was the joint efforts. It was only at the end of 2 days. So we would like to thank you. There were some do we have time for questions? Would you like to take the questions, or should I? I should take the questions. Is there any?
But anyone from your group should feel free to.
Okay, yeah, from the group as well. Collaboration. Maybe you can join us here, and we can answer all the questions if they come. Okay.
To join you?
Why not? If we're talking about collaboration, if there are any questions, you can stand here, and we can just take the questions all together. Varma, first of all, let's ask the audience. Do you have any questions? Is everything clear? We were able to focus on 3 aspects, 3 questions only from the list.
Dilan, I'd like to thank her too, but she's busy. And we focused on mainly every point. We discussed every question and tried to find answers. And I will just present them. Okay? Yeah, now let's start with the definition of professional development. We tried to define it, and we came up with this. Teacher professional learning is a process which should include all teachers, regardless of experience, throughout their teaching career. Because good teacher learning is central to good pupil learning, and the aim of every prep school, as we are all prep school teachers, I guess, is the outcome. The students should be successful. Okay. So the professional development role of the curriculum team, we had 6 roles. I mean, we could figure out 6 roles. I think you can open them all, maybe.
Do you want to go one by one?
Okay, to provide a bridge between curriculum team and the teachers. And that's some kind of duty list. we put it that way. To analyze and inform teachers about the learner profile, because we, in the curriculum, have to prepare according to the needs of the students, of course. So we have to get informed by somebody, and this could be the PD. And in this way we are getting feedback from the teachers about materials via the PD. And another role would be to help teachers with pacing problems, the next one, and to help them develop positive rapport between the curriculum team and the teachers. So they are a bridge between both the teachers and the curriculum team. And they should have, we said, regular meetings, next one, with the teachers in order to get the feedback on course flow, whether the pacing is fast or slow, and focus on the objectives. Maybe the objectives are not realistic maybe they are, maybe they are not. So we need feedback on that. And materials, because not every course book material is interesting. For example, students want videos, and they want a lot of them. They want to do a lot of listening and speaking, especially our students. And if curricular problems arise, we're getting feedback from them, hopefully. And what is our role? We also have 6 roles within. The curriculum team informs PD members about innovations like new trends, technologies in the field, and according to the levels. And PD members can organize workshops, trainings, etc. for teachers accordingly, according to those innovations. And the professional development unit also helps the curricular development to the curriculum team to deal with teachers' resistance to change by providing guidance and training, because not everyone likes change, neither do I, but if there is some logic to it, everyone will accept, I guess. The next one, the PD shows ways of developing materials, how to adapt, change, skip, or add authentic materials, again, according to learner needs. Observations should be done by the PD unit to make sure that the program of the curriculum runs smoothly, and to diagnose needs. That's again on what to include. And PD helps piloting process, because it's not always the same course book. It's an ongoing process, this development, and we're every time looking back at the previous year, and we try to omit what didn't work. I mean, we have to focus on the learner needs again. And PD provides feedback on curriculum evaluation at the end of each academic year. This can be a questionnaire or an online survey, we said. And the benefits and obstacles of the collaboration between the PD and curriculum teams would be, we'll start with benefits. As we've already studied a bit of the articles, there was a nice sentence there. Curriculum approaches influence teacher development. So this is a benefit for the curriculum department. And teacher development influence curriculum implementation and student learning in a positive way. So this is on behalf of the whole institution. I mean, teacher development as well as the institution, it will get better. The outcome will be better if they collaborate. And in this way, they can also contribute to the creation of a PD culture. So maybe it's what she said, personality. I mean, changing your personality, adapting. It will become easier, and they will get used to developing the teachers. I mean, in general. The next one, to create a common understanding of teaching and learning. Yes, in an institution, everybody has to have the same objectives and a common ground to start from. Because if everyone does something different with what the curriculum gives, then you have problems with the students later, because they will knock on your doors, as she said. Okay, let me go on. Let's see. We're coming to the... Oh yes, to ease the workload of both units. Yes, it's to ease the workload of both units. I'm lost here. I'm lost here. Help me. Yes, I don't know why I got lost, but both have workload. But if they do it together, it will get easier.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Obstacles. Okay, if you have unclear job descriptions, like who does what, if you don't know just what, how the PDU works and how the curriculum works, it might lead to confusion with the teachers we set in the group, because the teachers might come and address you, whereas they should go to the teacher development unit. That can be a problem. And sometimes it has to do with character as well here. Possible interference between units, because people sometimes don't know where to stop and they intervene with everything. And that kind of problems might arise. And this depends, this is mainly because they have different attitudes to teaching and different approaches. Next point. What should the relationship between PD and curriculum be? So decision making should be done by both units in a democratic way. They should have equal say, because one unit provides feedback from the learners, from the students, from the teachers. The students tell the teachers tell the TDU, and then it comes to the curriculum. So it should be made in a democratic way, like changing the course book, for example. If the majority doesn't like it, you can ask all teachers, and they can choose. I think. We think. Do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay. PD and curriculum teams should have regular meetings to discuss major problems depending on the need. Yes. Sometimes when you plan something, it doesn't work out that well. You see that the students or the teachers have problems with materials, and if there are major problems, the TDU informs the curriculum office about that, and the curriculum office makes the changes. And the last point, yes, workshops should be organized by, really?
Wait, 5 more minutes we have.
You told us, but we didn't listen. Workshops should be organized by both parties, and volunteer teachers can also contribute to discuss the objectives set by the prep school and their implementation. And these meetings or short trainings should be mandatory because, as we said in the beginning, good teacher learning is central to good pupil learning, which is very important.
Desired.
Yes, it is desired. You can come back to the first
Oh,
quotation.
was I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's us. Yes, but yeah, that's what I thought. The first quote was quite good.
So you want it to be
First
same.
one. Yes.
Okay.
Here. Good teacher learning is central to good pupil learning. So, okay, that's the thing.
It's not only to you, to everybody.
Okay.
You mentioned about the PD assistance and piloting process. Have you discussed any details how they can contribute? How can professional development unit members assist in the piloting process?
How they are giving feedback about the course book itself, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they
From
said
a
maybe.
developmental point of view,
Alright.
from a
Wait.
Or
They could
extra
also-
material that we have to add.
They
Like,
could also, if you're piloting the book in a class,
Uh-huh.
they could also do observations of the teacher trying
Yeah.
out the book for another
I
perspective.
forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. They told me, but I forgot. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Yeah, it's my first presentation, so I'm a bit.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. On behalf of Group C, we prepared a little presentation. Okay, so we're going to start with the definition. Sorry to bother you and bore you with some repetitive details. So we, as a group, decided that professional development means all activities that support the continuous journey of teachers. So this can include raising awareness of the institutional aims and objectives, reflective teaching, how to reflect on their performance, incorporating new technology, and mentoring, team teaching, a lot of the things that I've already mentioned, so I'm going to go fast. Focus groups, action research, peer observations, and induction and orientation for new teachers, as well as needs-driven workshops. Okay. So you can, yeah. So, the professional development role of the curriculum team should be as follows. Some of the points I've already mentioned, having regular constructive meetings with the teachers. One thing we thought was really interesting was, and important, was to build trust and facilitate the relationship between the students, teachers, and the curriculum team. So kind of like a bridge. Identify areas of improvement. So, sorry. Which means that if they identify a problem, they should be able to solve it. They should provide innovative solutions. They should also inform and support, more obviously, teachers about the institutional philosophy, clarify the aims and objectives, and and teach them and guide them towards a specific approach regarding the curriculum. Okay, so what is the role of professional development unit in curricular development? So we decided that they should be involved in every single stage of the curriculum development in order to collaborate with all the stakeholders, anticipate the problems and provide effective solutions. So they would have to find innovative ways to overcome any issues. They should also be approachable, be problem solvers, and this way, you know, the teachers feel comfortable sharing their concerns with them. And they should also identify the strengths and ensure a shared vision. They should also stay updated with the current trends, something that's already been mentioned before, and initiate and support professional learning. So for example, if there's a new textbook, some teachers, you know, they don't like change, and then if there's a new curriculum, they feel nervous. So maybe the PDU unit could help support that. They could hold a session and they could talk about the rationale for the change. They could talk about the problems and the gaps in the textbooks, and then they could ask the teachers for feedback, and maybe the teachers could have a little session and talk about which activities need to be revised, how they can adapt the materials, maybe even give input towards the assessment, maybe propose a new format. That way everyone feels involved. So, what are the benefits and obstacles? So, we decided the benefits would be smooth operation, student learning will be enhanced, that's the most important thing. Also, an increase in self-esteem, trust, motivation, a sense of tranquility, a fair share of responsibility, active learning. We also felt that awareness raising brings about clarity and objectives so that later on in the semester there is no confusion or chaos, and also constructive feedback which we can use to improve ourselves. Some of the obstacles we identified would be the difference in stakeholder backgrounds and their beliefs and perspectives about professional development, what it is, how it should be implemented, as well as curricular issues. Since Foci-Xv is a new institution, we anticipated some limited or scarce resources in terms of financial or human resources. And at the start of the semester, there's always more work and less time, so we figured there would be time constraints, for example, maybe workload. And as always, there's resistance to change. Everyone likes the way things are, so why change? And if there's frequent changes in policy, it may cause unrest and confusion and disorder. So we also figured that there are some ways to overcome these obstacles. The best way is to prepare everything beforehand. This way you can iron out all the kinks and sort everything. You should provide a rationale for why there's going to be a collaboration. And there should be transparency. That was our key word. There should be transparency throughout so that everyone's voice is heard and everyone's concerns are addressed. So what are the factors to consider when collaborating? Who decides? My group thought the best thing to do would be to have the coordinators of both the units, the professional development and the curriculum unit, to meet, talk, collaborate, make a decision, and then they go meet with their boss, the academic director, the coordinator, the line manager, whomever it may be, and then they can get approval. Okay, and so how do we decide? These are some suggested ways. We can do a needs analysis, we can do surveys, observations, hold focus groups, get feedback from students, conduct interviews, diagnostic results, and maybe even do online questionnaires. We found that qualitative feedback is very useful in making these kind of decisions. So who participates? And we decided that it should be all stakeholders. They should all participate in the decision-making process. And how frequent should it be? At least 3 times a year. Once in the beginning, once in the middle, just to check to see how things are going, and once near the end, so you can evaluate how things went. So should it be mandatory and optional? This was a tough decision. So we decided that maybe it should be mandatory for general issues. So if there's a new textbook, for example, there should definitely be a training. If there's a new technology for the curriculum, maybe Google Drive, Live Binders, Dropbox, some teachers may be unfamiliar, so those trainings should be mandatory. As for optional, teachers should request based on their interest and their specific needs. So how to decrease your teacher talk time, how to maybe go about using task-based learning in their classroom, how to teach pronunciation skills, how to deal with classroom management. So maybe they can, if there is communication between all members, that way they can request things based on their interest. Okay, so this is a bit wordy. The relationship between the PDU and the curriculum team. So as we've already discussed, the benefits of having a collaborative team between the two groups, we decided we should talk about what would happen without a professional development unit. So we thought that it should be very clear from the very beginning. What are the goals? What are the objectives? There should be transparency. That way everyone's voice is heard, and this actually builds trust. And without trust, you can't exactly have a good relationship. So this is good relationship building. So we decided that the level coordinators and the curriculum team members should offer their guidance and support. So again, they should be approachable. We should keep in mind that affective factors as well as cognitive factors are important here. So for example, how they can have standardization sessions before marking tests and quizzes. They should hold well-structured weekly meetings to address professional development concerns. We also thought about team teaching, mentoring, and peer observations. Those have worked really well in the past. And teacher-to-teacher workshops. A real favorite in my group. This is nice, where you can request, whatever you like, but these are our examples: how to deal with mixed ability classes, how to teach writing skills, how to deal with classroom management issues, etc. Again, to reiterate, building trust, a sense of fairness and respect goes a long way, and it helps build understanding and willingness for development, as well as food. Food always helps, as we found. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Can I make a comment?
Of course.
Can you come to one of the previous slides? I can't remember.
Of course, which one? You want me to help you sum up? Or you can? No, that's okay.
Yes. PDU role, I guess it was.
This one?
No.
The role
Yes,
of PDU,
the role
yes.
of PD in curricular development. Here, we talked about what we expect from PDU to help us in curricular issues, but it shouldn't be misunderstood. Of course, curriculum developers will be already doing all these, but we also discussed that sometimes the teachers do not want us to look like PDU people, you know, because we are the same. We just develop the curriculum, but we are also teachers. So in order for professional development, they want to see somebody who has, you know, trained, who has the expertise. That's why I think we also want their help in this. So it shouldn't be misunderstood that we do expect all these from them. We will be collaborating.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Working together instead
Yeah.
of just having one person do everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No.
I mean, I think we're a little bit early for our tea break, aren't we? Like 2 or 3 minutes early. We've got one last session after the break where we're going to be looking back at what we've learned over the last 2 days and thinking about the future, what future themes we could use. So we'll see you after the tea break again.
Okay. Thank you.
Sevgi knows about it.